What happens if your competition keeps winning deals against you? Now, this is quite a common thing because competition is quite hard these days. And I hear from a lot of my clients that, you know, the marketplace is very tight and very difficult to win business in. And that's for several different reasons, but I want to cover a couple. I mean, I could probably talk about for 2 days on the topic of why the competition may be winning. But I want to give you 3 simple steps that you could take tomorrow to help you close more deals against the competition. Does that make sense? So if that's right for you, then listen in. Hi, this is Gordon D'Silva, and excuse me for my voice today because I've just finished a web class. And if you'd like to watch it, it's on demand as well. I'll put the link below if you're interested. But I just finished that web class, and I've been talking to a session for probably 90 minutes. So it was supposed to be 60 minutes, but there was Q&A at the end, and I covered a lot of questions which I thought were quite valuable. And one of the questions that came up was about this competition. I thought it'd be worth me putting a different considered approach to this very quickly, but a simple approach to this. And they've all got reasons why I've picked these 3. I could have probably picked 20, but I've just picked 3 for now to get your mind thinking, so you get an idea of how my mind thinks in a way, but also to hopefully get your mind thinking a little bit. Make sense? All right, so let's get started. What's the first one? The first one started off when I started getting some trees cut down. We bought this house, and outside the front drive, if you like, there was 3 massive trees. Now, normally I absolutely love trees because they help with the environment. They are just pleasant to look at and stuff, and they convert carbon dioxide into oxygen, and they store carbon dioxide. So there's a load of reasons I love trees, but these were absolutely massive trees and were really out of place in the property and the road. And what was happening is our cars were covered in bird stuff, as well as leaves. The place was just covered in leaves. The road was covered. Everything was slippery. The drive was slippery because there were just so many leaves and stuff. So we had to get it done. It was also shutting the light out from the front of the house, which, of course, when you're in the house and you want to enjoy the property, you want to make sure that you have that. Now, I'm not saying we didn't plant other trees. We do. We love trees. But these big ones had to come down. So we asked for a quote on these trees, and we had 4 quotes, and one of them came by, wrote on the back of his calling card a number and said, yeah, here's the price. Another one came by, and I'll tell you about him in a second. The other 2 didn't come by because it was in lockdown last year, and it's their prerogative. They were allowed to come out and do the work outside, but they chose not to. But they asked me to send photographs and stuff, so I did. I sent a little video and photographs. I quite like doing that anyway, to give them an idea of what they're getting into, to see if they even want to quote, right? I hate wasting business owners' time. I hate wasting my time, and I'm a business owner, and I hate people wasting mine. You know what it's like, right? Cold calls and stuff. Anyway, one of them called me up and asked me to describe the trees and more. He said he's got the pictures, and he gave me a quote on the phone. The other one just gave me a quote on the phone. And the 4th guy came along. He came in a little car. It was one of these really eco-friendly cars, and he came. The other one came. The one who came in a big truck, right, just to give me a quote. This guy came in a little eco-friendly, small, like a Fiat type thing, and he spent some time with me, probably about 30 minutes, talking to me about the trees, what the issues were going to be, what's going to be left behind, what I wanted to do with the waste, and he said, are there any other trees while I'm here that we could talk about? And I showed him around the back, and he said, oh yeah, I could do these for you as well. And he really knew his stuff. He goes, look, that one's dead anyway, it won't take me long, I'll just throw that in. And he was able to describe very quickly what was going on in relation to trees, and he gave me a price. And of course I went with him, even though he wasn't the cheapest, because I trusted him more, because I didn't want somebody wrecking my front garden and leaving a load of rubbish around and stuff. And in the end, the experience was better than I expected, because he left me. He says, he said, I see you've got a fire. Is that fireplace and stuff? Is that working? And I went, yeah. He goes, would you like some firewood? Some of these trees are really good for burning. This one in particular, the other 2 are no good. for burning. Do you want this one? And I said, yeah. So he cut loads of logs for me. It's fantastic. But he won the deal. And what I want to do here is that my number one is show you care. He showed he cared about his work. He showed he cared about his professionalism. He showed he cared about me and my property. He showed he knew his stuff. Basically, he covered the bases, right? He showed me he cared. So that's number one on the list to win more of your competition's business. The second one is create a compelling offer. And again, we could talk about him again because he offered, remember, he said, I'll do a couple of trees in the back and I'll give you a better rate for the ones at the back. And also the dead tree, because it's dead and it's going to be really easy to cut and it's not too high, I'll just do that while we're here, if that's okay, but I'll have to leave the stuff here for you and you can use it as firewood. Is that okay? Absolutely fine. Fantastic. So it was creating that compelling offer. He gave me a freebie, right? Now, everyone likes freebies. It doesn't matter how much a thing is. Even wealthy people on high ticket products like freebies. So what can you do within your price that doesn't cost you very much, but would be of value to your customer, client, or patient? And build that into your offer, okay? If you have a compelling offer, we sometimes call it the Godfather offer, then you have, somebody has got things to think about. They can't just go, 3 trees, this is going to be a tongue twist, isn't it? Especially after my web class just now. It's going to go 3 trees for 3,000 for argument's sake, right? Somebody else, 3 trees for 2,500. Somebody else goes 3 trees for 3,500. Now, if that's all you've got to go on. Well, I might as well go, if that's all it is and it's exactly the same, I might as well go as a commodity for the lowest price. Why wouldn't you, right? But if they make it a bit more complex, you go, look, we'll do these 3 trees, but we'll also cut up some firewood for you, which will last you a year, which will save you another, 200 pounds in firewood for the winter. We will also take this dead tree down, which normally you'd have to pay 250 pounds to take the dead tree down. But more important than that, you'll have all this extra firewood. Now it becomes a bit of a slam dunk. Can you see that? So think about the offer you make. It wasn't, his team were already here. The chainsaw was already out. It was already sharp. He was already in the back garden. It was just going to go zip, zip, zip. And in fact, it probably took him 25 minutes, maybe 20 minutes to get, and so he got the deal, right? He didn't get, it wasn't the most expensive, but like I said, it wasn't the cheapest by a long way. And but I was so pleased with the job in the end. We picked the right person because he showed he cared, and he gave us a great offer. That makes sense. Now, the third one is this. Let me give it to you by way of an example. Early on in my career, and I love buying training products. I love improving myself, my mind. I love improving my output, my productivity. I love improving my business, my profitability, and I love improving my ability to impact others, the opportunity, right? We call it, productivity, profitability, and passion. That's the 3 things we just did a web class about. You can get a link to it, like I said, at the bottom. So what we are talking about here is I bought this product. I was buying trainings, and I was buying masterminds and all that sort of stuff. They're all working for me. And then this one company said, look, we can take your marketing off your hands, and it's going to cost you 30,000, but we guarantee, they didn't do that, I've given it away, and we will get you probably about 90 to 100,000 pounds for that, okay, of fees, and they're recurring fees. Would you like that? And I went, yeah, absolutely. And so, in fact, it may have even, no, it wasn't guaranteed. So, and that's what's giving it away, right? So I bought it, and because I signed a type of contract, which was a really crooked contract, I didn't think about it properly. I trust people. I'm very trusting, because I believe people trust me and I trust other people. But I do get let down a bit, so I'm a bit more suspicious now. And I can give you story after story of where that suspicion has helped me save a load of money. And this company didn't perform. Now, They did try to perform, but they didn't perform by a long shot, and I lost all 30,000. Right, I couldn't get my money back. I had signed a contract which tied me in tight. I was done, and I hated that. And I vowed at that moment that I would never want a client to feel that way, that abused, that violated. If I, it is a sort of sense of financial violation, isn't it? And so I vowed then I would start looking at making sure I guaranteed it. And what changed my mindset about guarantees is one of my mentors said to me, "Gordon, do you offer guarantees?" I went, "No, because I don't know, people are going to take advantage and stuff." He goes, "Look, just say you had a client and you vet your clients pretty well, right?" And I went, "Yeah, I do. We have a call beforehand, make sure, we gel, make sure we understand each other, make sure they appreciate what we're going to be doing for them, and we appreciate their business." And there's that link between us that it's not a master servant, it's a joint teamwork. We're working together as a team to help them in their business, either with tax or accounting if they're in the UK, or with business if they're in an English-speaking country or they speak English. And so what we did was we vet them and say, "Look, yeah, we're okay with them." So he said, "Well, what if one of them said, 'Look, you didn't really meet your commitments on that. What would you do?' I said, "I would move heaven and earth to put it right." So what alternative would you do if you couldn't put it right? I said, "I'd probably give them their money back for that piece of work." And he went, "Exactly. So you do it anyway. So why not offer it up front? And as long as you pick the right clients, they won't abuse it. Most people don't." And I was surprised. I thought, "Are you sure?" And I started offering it, and no one abused it. Right? We've had to give money back once, and that was because we got it wrong. We didn't pick the right client, and they didn't pick it. We didn't really understand enough about the client's business. We couldn't impact them, and within sort of 25 days, we realized we weren't able to help them. Not because it was the client's fault. It just wasn't that chemistry, that synergy between us and our skills. So anyway, that was what happened there, right? So, but guarantees are just so important. It puts people's minds at rest. And if you guarantee, to take for example, you were buying two coaching projects, right? One cost £20,000 and came with no guarantee, and the other one cost £20,000 and came with a guarantee. And the guarantee was you would make a threefold return on your investment. And if you don't, just say you only get a twofold, then you get a part refund. And if you get a zerofold, you get a total refund. Now, of course, the conditions might be that you have to do some of the work that you say you're going to do, and the coaching consulting party says they've got to do the work that they've got to do. And if all of those happen, then they should get their money back, right? And which one would you go for, right? If you were happy that you were going to do the work and you knew what type of work you were going to do, and everything was amicable, and you had a 30-day get out clause and stuff, if you had two people offering the same service with the same returns, and they had the same know-how, and they both showed you cared, and they both had a compelling offer, right, that they're going to work with you, every week for a year to make sure that you got the returns, would you choose the one with the guarantee, the one without? Okay, if you said you choose the one without, then avoid the second one. But I suspect you probably said you'd go for the one with the guarantee. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you remove the financial risk from your transaction? And that's what I think clients want. And so there are the three things. The first thing is show you care. That's really easily done. Put a compelling offer in place. That's quite easily done if you think about it for an hour or two with your team. What else could we offer? And build a bit into your price that allows you to do a bit of extra, right? Which I think this guy probably did. Chances are I probably would have paid the same with the cheaper option, but this guy built it into the price. And and then obviously he was already here and he was chopping my firewood while he was waiting for his team to clear up all the mess that the tree cutting had caused. So that was good as well. And then, of course, the guarantee takes a bit of thinking about, but make sure it's equitable and make sure nobody can take advantage of you just by going, well, I can take advantage. As long as they show they've got to do their part and show goodwill, and you've got to do your part, which I'm sure you will because you're listening to this, then we're all good, right? So therein are my 3 steps to getting more of your business from your competition. Hopefully it helps. Remember the web class, which covers how to grow a better business. These are just some of the 1% I've talked about here. But if you want to look at the web class on how to double your income in half the time, how to build a business that loves you back, that you love to own, that you love to run because you do stuff that's fun in it, and it allows you to have a fun time outside it, then join me on the web classes. There'll be a recording up later on today. All right, this is Gordon wishing you well. Take care. Goodbye.